As you were. I'm looking for Corporal Upham,
Yes, sir.
Timothy E.
I'm Upham, sir.
I understand you speak French and German?
Yes, sir.
How's your accent?
It's just a slight one in French, but my German's clean, has a touch of Bavarian, sir.
Very good. You've been reassigned to me. Grab
Thanks,
your
sir.
gear. I'm going to a place called Neuville.
Sweden is just like Upham. Follow me on this one.
Yes, sir.
In Saving Private Ryan, there is one character who stands apart. Not because he is cruel, not because he is weak, but because he is good and unprepared. His name is Upham.
I've never been in combat, sir. I make maps and I translate, and that's...
I need someone who speaks French and German.
Yes, sir.
My two guys were killed.
Yes, sir. It's just that I haven't held a weapon since basic training, sir.
Did you fire the weapon in basic training?
Yes, sir.
Well, then get your gear.
Yes, sir.
When Captain Miller first meets Upham, there is no accusation, no judgment. He asks only one simple question. Have you ever fired your weapon in training? Upham hesitates. He explains that he understands German, that he knows rules, procedures, doctrine. But when it comes to violence, he has no experience. Miller does not argue. He does not lecture. He simply registers the fact. Because in war, good intentions are not enough.
You should look on the bright side of things, Corporal.
Yes.
For one thing, you don't need to carry those. You'll need that.
I need this. Yes, sir.
Upham is intelligent. He is empathetic. He understands rules, language, and intentions. He believes that clarity, restraint, and moral awareness can prevent violence. And before violence begins, he is right. But the film places Upham in a situation where violence already exists. The war is no longer theoretical. It is immediate. After the radar station is taken, the shooting stops. The ground is quiet. One of their own is dead. A German soldier is captured. The men are exhausted, angry, grieving. They want certainty. They want closure. This is where Upham steps forward.
Bitte, tötet mich nicht. Ich will mich ergeben. Vater unser im Himmel, geheiligt werde dein Name, dein Reich komme.
Not yet. First, make a mark and cover Wade's body for grave detail. Same thing for those paratroopers down there. Strip that stuff off and check them for intelligence.
Ask this piece of shit if he's the one who shot Wade. Ask him!
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does matter.
Was du am Maschinengewehr?
Nein, ich hab nachgeladen, ich hab nicht geschossen. Ich hab nicht...
Shut up with that filthy piglet.
Jackson, you're hit.
Ich hab nicht geschossen, ich hab das... Sprich Deutsch.
He speaks the language. He listens. He translates. He turns the enemy back into a human being. He argues that the prisoner is harmless, that he poses no real threat, that releasing him is the right thing to do.
Sir, you're gonna let them kill him? This is not right.
You can help him with the bodies.
What is happening?
In theory, Upham is right. This is the morally clean option. No execution, no revenge, just restraint. Captain Miller listens, and this matters, because Miller is the one who carries responsibility, not Upham. Miller authorizes the release. The prisoner is told to surrender to the next American unit. He thanks Upham, and he walks away. This scene is the key to understanding Upham. First, he is good, but unprepared. Then he makes a decision in someone else's name, a moral decision, one he does not have to pay for himself. This is the turning point. The radar station is where Upham moves from moral theory to real responsibility. Not because the decision is evil, but because responsibility cannot be outsourced. Later, the consequences return. The same soldier comes back. The war returns, and Captain Miller is killed. This is not the film punishing mercy. It is the film showing consequence. Not moral consequence, but practical consequence. In one of the film's most difficult scenes, Upham hears a fellow soldier being killed. He understands exactly what is happening, yet he does nothing. not because he wants harm, but because he cannot act when the cost becomes real. This moment is not meant to shame Upham, it is meant to reveal something uncomfortable. Moral clarity is not the same as responsibility. Knowing what is right does not automatically give you the capacity to act, especially when action carries risk. Upham represents a form of goodness that works in safe conditions, in classrooms, in discussions, in theory. But when violence arrives, that form of goodness freezes. And this is where the film stops being only about war. It begins to resemble something familiar: Sweden. Sweden has lived in safety for a very long time. Violence has been distant. Protection has been carried by others. Over time, this shapes how a society understands conflict. We become very good at moral language, at intentions, at values, but less familiar with what responsibility looks like when violence is already real. We often speak as if restraint alone is enough, as if dialogue can exist without mutual consent, as if choosing not to act is the same as choosing peace. But when violence exists, choice has already disappeared. What remains is responsibility. Upham freezes because he still believes he has a choice, and so do we sometimes. The soldiers around him are not better people, they are not morally superior. They simply understand something Upham has not yet learned. When violence exists, responsibility replaces choice. Upham is not a villain, he is a mirror. And the question he leaves us with is not about war, it is about society. What happens when moral clarity remains, but the ability to carry responsibility fades? Saving Private Ryan does not reject morality, it warns against morality without capacity. Because when violence arrives, good intentions alone do not protect anyone.
Sweden did not fight in World War II on the side of the United States, not because we were morally superior, but because we chose to protect ourselves. This decision was rational. Sweden was militarily weak, geographically exposed, economically dependent. Joining the war would likely have meant occupation, destruction, and civilian suffering. So Sweden made a calculated choice, self-preservation first. Neutrality was not idealism, it was strategy. We adapted to power, we traded, we compromised. We helped where we could, but without exposing ourselves to direct risk. This was not moral failure, it was a refusal to carry risk when violence was already real. Others absorbed the violence, others paid the price. The United States carried the military burden, the physical destruction, the human trauma. Sweden did not. After the war, Europe was in ruins. America became the military guarantor, and Sweden stood intact. We built prosperity without devastation, morality without trauma, values without having tested them under fire. This shaped our national character. We became very good at moral language, at intentions, at humanitarian ideals, but less familiar with responsibility when force is unavoidable. Because we never had to ask the hardest question, what does it cost when someone must act? Someone else always did. This is why the parallel to Upham matters. Upham does not lack values. He understands morality. He believes in restraint. What he lacks is experience with consequence. Like Upham, Sweden did not lack principles. It lacked willingness to carry risk once violence had already entered the equation. That choice worked. It created safety. It created prosperity. But it also created distance. Distance from violence, distance from consequence, distance from responsibility when choice disappears. This is not an accusation, it is an explanation. Because morality that has never been tested by responsibility will always believe it still has a choice, until one day it doesn't. When violence already exists, choice disappears. Responsibility remains. This is perspective.
Please give this video a thumb up and do leave a comment. See you next time.